in the heart of breathtaking national parks. A terrifying truth lurks beneath the surface. People vanish, not lost, but truly gone, as if swallowed by the earth itself. We're talking about cases where experienced hikers, families, and even children have disappeared without a single logical explanation. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about safety in the wilderness. The real numbers are not in the visitor brochures. In my 14 years as a Yellowstone park ranger, I've logged 47 missing persons reports. Not lost hiker, found by sunset, I mean vanished. The official count says 12. The other 35, swept under the rug like pine needles. I started keeping my own records after the Chen family disappeared in 2019. 2 parents, both marathon runners. Twin 8-year-olds who'd won junior running competitions, gone from a half-mile loop trail. We found their backpacks neatly stacked by a boulder, sandwiches still fresh. No footprints beyond that point. The ground was soft after rain. We should have seen something. The pattern always starts with silence. Not normal forest quiet, but a hush. Like the woods are holding their breath. Then the temperature drops 10 degrees in 30 seconds. Every single case file notes it. Every one. Last Tuesday my radio crackled at 6:47 p.m. Ranger Logan, we've got a code V. That was new. Usually they say missing, not vanished. It was a geology student. Sarah Chen, same last name as the family from 2019. She was mapping thermal features in the Norris Geyser Basin. It's a place where the earth breathes through cracked mud, and the water hits 459 degrees. Her professor said she was obsessive about check-ins, every half hour, like clockwork. Then 3:30 p.m. Nothing. I grabbed my kit. Sfera's last GPS ping showed her at a formation called Whispering Springs. The name's tourist fluff. Locals call it the Throat. It's a circular pool where the water always spins counterclockwise, even when wind gusts hit 40 miles per hour. We found her boots, at the edge. Laces, still tied. Her field journal was open to a sketch of the pool, but the drawing, this is where my blood ran cold, showed 7 human silhouettes submerged just below the surface, mouths open in silent screams. The date on the page was tomorrow. We launched a standard search grid at dawn. 40 volunteers, dogs, thermal drones. By noon, the dogs were whining, refusing to cross a specific ridgeline half a mile from the springs. The drone feed showed nothing but static when it passed over the same zone. I walked it myself, my GPS losing signal the moment I stepped past a dead pine that looked like a gnarled finger pointing west. That's where I found the marker, carved into the bark, a spiral symbol I'd seen before. Every missing person case had one within 100 yards of their last known location. Lou family's case. It was on the boulder where we found the bags. The Park Service dismissed it as tourist graffiti, but tourists don't carve symbols that make your eyes hurt to look at them. I traced it with my finger, and the wood was still damp, like it had bled. My radio died, so did my phone. The temperature plummeted, and then I heard the whispers. Not wind, voices, dozens of them, speaking in unison, but the words were backwards. I could only make out one phrase, "The ground remembers." I followed the voices. Stupid, I know. A 15 years of search and rescue instinct is hard to override. They led me to a cave system not on any map, hidden behind a waterfall that wasn't listed in our water table surveys. The entrance was perfectly round, man-made, or something made. Inside, the walls were smooth, obsidian, warm to the touch, despite the freezing air. My flashlight beam hit something metallic, Sarah's field compass. But the needle was spinning wild, tracking something that moved through the rock. The whispers intensified. I saw movement in the corner of my vision, shadows that weren't mine. They darted between stalagmites, human-shaped, but wrong. Like smoke wearing skin, one stopped. Its face was Sarah's, but her eyes were pure white. Her mouth opened wider than human anatomy allows. No scream came out, just a low hum that vibrated my teeth. I ran, but the cave exit sealed behind me, not collapse sealed. The stone flowered shut like a time-lapse of a blooming flower in reverse. My flashlight died. In the dark, I felt hands, hundreds of them, cold and mineral smooth, pulling me down. But they weren't grabbing my body, they were pulling my memory. I could feel specifics being stripped away, my daughter's laugh, the taste of coffee, the color of my first car. When I came to, I was outside. The sun hadn't moved. My watch showed 3:30 p.m., the exact time Sarah vanished. I was standing at the edge of Whispering Springs, holding her journal. A new entry had appeared, in my handwriting. The missing don't die, they become the marker. I flipped back through the pages. Every case I'd logged was there, every person. They all had added an entry after their disappearance. The Chen twins wrote, "Mommy and Daddy taste like soil now." Their mother wrote, "The children are seeds." The geology student wrote, "The earth is hollow in ways GPS can't map. It hungers for patterns." The spiral symbol wasn't a warning, it was a receipt, a marker that something had been consumed. And the consumption wasn't random, it targeted people with specific skills, orienteers who could navigate without tools, geologists who understood the Earth's fractures, rangers who knew the park's secrets. 'Twas collecting knowledge. My radio crackled. "Ranger Logan, come in. We're calling off the search." I keyed the mic, but my voice was wrong, echoing, layered, like multiple people speaking at once. I looked at my reflection in the spring's water. My face was still mine, but my eyes had turned the color of wet stone. When I breathed, dust came out instead of vapor. I understand now. The park isn't a wilderness, it's a body. The geysers are its breath, the hot springs, its blood, and the disappearances. It's how the land remembers. The ground doesn't swallow people, it assimilates them. Their skills, their memories, their patterns become part of the park's consciousness. That's why the dogs won't search. They smell predator, not geography. The Chen family didn't vanish, they merged. The twins became the root system of a specific lodgepole pine. The parents became the mineral content of the springs. Sarah Chen became the obsidian in the cave, her knowledge of thermal vents now part of the park's circulatory system. I'm becoming the next marker. Every night at 6:47 p.m., the time the radio first called, I feel the pull. The whispers aren't voices. They're memories of the 47, trying to warn the 48th. But the warning is the trap. The more you know, the more the land wants you. My skin is starting to flake, turning to bark. When I piss, it smells like sulfur. I recorded this log at the ranger station, uploaded it to the cloud. If you're watching this, I'm already gone. Don't look for my body. Look for a new spiral marker, somewhere in Yellowstone, carved into stone that shouldn't exist. I left my boots by the springs, laces tied. Don't touch them, don't trace the symbol, and for God's sake, don't go into the parks at 6:47 p.m. The land is hungry, and we've been feeding it for 150 years, one experienced hiker at a time. The official count will say 48, but the real number is 0. Because none of us ever really leave. We just become part of the brochure they don't print. Still feel like going for a hike.